was.
Crazy.
This time around, it's definitely rain, and rain is on the way here in Atlanta, bringing some milder temperatures to go along with it. But you're going to need to pack that umbrella if you're heading out to do some last-minute shopping as we head into next week. So most of the weekend looking fine in the ATL. 28 degrees right now. It's a chilly start this morning, but temperatures will be warming as this next wave and disturbance begins to push into the region. So the rain will likely be moving in across parts of the deep south late on Sunday. This is the forecast for Monday, with rain showers possible from Texas all the way over into the Carolinas. Now, we could see some heavy downpours at times. This is going to continue into your Tuesday, so it's not going to be raining throughout the entire period. We'll see these rounds of showers and, yes, some embedded thunderstorms. Best chance of seeing some of these stronger storms that could put down some gusty winds will be right in here in the lower Mississippi River Valley, so that's something we're going to keep an eye on. And rainfall amounts are going to be quite hefty in a few of these spots. In fact, we could be getting a good 3 to 5 inches plus of rainfall between now and the middle of the week. Now, the heaviest rain we think will be closer down towards the Gulf Coast. Really could use some rain into this part of the country. For example, Arkansas in particular, 42% of the state is dealing with extreme drought conditions. Your deficit in Little Rock is almost 7 inches for the year, so really significant. And notice as you get closer towards the coast, New Orleans towards Houston, yeah, you're doing okay in terms of needing the rainfall. So here's a look. Fort Smith, for example, over the last couple of months, you've had less than 4 inches of rainfall. Typically, you'd have more than a foot, so that really helps to put it in perspective that Arkansas really needs that rain. Dallas, you've had just over 3.5 inches of rainfall so far over the last 3 months. Typically, you would see more than 9 inches. So here's a look at the forecast for Shreveport, for example. Over the next 5 days, we'll likely see somewhere between 2 and 3 inches of rainfall. And there you can see just to your south, maybe some of those heavier downpours. The rain will be here today. Tomorrow, not so much, but picking up as we head into the early part of next week. So finally, somebody who needs rain is going to get
it's about time.
So big shake-up in the temperature department across parts of the southeast. We want to say good morning to you in Jackson, Mississippi. Your temperature is 29 degrees, and we are reporting a little bit of patchy fog across the region. So be aware that sometimes that can put a little deposit on the roadway with temperatures below freezing. There could be a couple of slick spots. But this afternoon, you're going to get up there around 60 degrees, and maybe squads will be cheering about that today at the state cheer competition at the Mississippi Coliseum. Look at the numbers across the southeast right now. It is definitely a chilly start. Many of us below the freezing mark. In fact, I might want to mention Birmingham, Alabama at 25 degrees. That ties for your coldest temperature so far this season. But if you don't like the cold, where temperatures are about 10 to 15 degrees colder than this time yesterday, don't worry. We've got some warmer weather coming, but we are going to have to trade it off for some rain eventually as well. So the core of the warmer conditions are going to be moving in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So 50s, not too bad right now, but we're talking plenty of 60s over the next couple of days. So snow this season, the second snowiest city in the U.S. So we've got a big week ahead of us. A lot of folks are already getting a jump start on holiday travel this weekend. If we take a look at what you can expect across the country today, we're talking about those lake effect snows, which will continue here. We've got snow across the Intermountain West, and then rain is returning across parts of the south. This will primarily be affecting places like San Antonio, into Dallas and Houston today. That moves into the lower Mississippi River Valley tonight and into tomorrow, and spreads northward into the Ohio River Valley. This is a warmer core system, so we're talking about wet conditions here, not white conditions. As we head into the work week on Monday, back to work and back to school for some. We'll continue to see active wet weather across the Gulf Coast states with showers and, yes, even a few embedded thunderstorms. We'll see another system across the Pacific Northwest, bringing rain into the valleys with higher elevation snowfall. The northern tier of the country, we got to keep an eye on. Overall, the nation's going to stay mild into the early part of next week as our weather pattern remains a little bit more zonal. So that means generally no huge storm systems, but just more nuisance types of systems. And that's what we're going to be seeing until about Wednesday. Take a look at this. Maybe a little moisture in parts of California. It'd be nice to get a little snow back into the Sierras. It's been a while here, but certainly we'll see it into the Bitterroots as well as into northern Rockies. By your Thursday, notice some slightly icy conditions maybe moving into the nation's midsection. Des Moines getting a little wintry weather, as well as Milwaukee and into Chicago. And as we take a look at your Friday, this is leading up into the holiday, Reynolds. We could be dealing with some icy conditions kind of off and on into the holiday.
You are
to safety. So no ice is 100% safe, and we're keeping an eye on those freezing temperatures across parts of the upper Midwest. Check it out, 27 degrees in Minneapolis. That's your average high. and that's where we're starting the day. Chicago, your average high is 34. You're at 37 right now, but there is cold air across northern Minnesota. In fact, temperatures up towards the boundary waters in the teens below zero, while southern Minnesota, where the frontal boundary is kind of hanging, is around 39 degrees. So we've got a 60-degree temperature spread. The milder air stays a little further south, but the northern tier stays a bit on the chilly side. 4th, and the forecast to contain that Thomas fire now isn't until January 7th. So a long road ahead. It's been 2 weeks now that we've been dealing with these offshore winds across Southern California. And today the fire danger is spread more into Central California as well, including the Bay areas, particularly into the mountains and into the foothills. So this is where the danger will be earlier in the day and then more significantly into Southern California later on. There is a dry cold front that's pushing through the region, so winds will be a little bit more northerly today as opposed to northeasterly. So a little bit of a change in direction, and that could be a challenge for firefighters. More than 8,000 of them are actively working on these fires. Just incredible numbers. So here's a look at the wind forecast for today. Gusts may be reaching 30 to 50 miles per hour at times, and there you can see those winds coming in across the Thomas fire area once again for today. And we'll also continue to have air quality issues with the smoke that's continuing to burn. That smoke has traveled more than 800 miles away from the source of the fire. Just incredible. And with the number of acres burned now, this is the 4th largest wildfire in California.
We're the Boise State Spirit Squad.
And this is your bowl game forecast.
And as always, go!
Matchups going on today for college football, including those Oregon Ducks we just heard from right there. Cloudy skies expected today as they take on the Boise State Broncos. Temperatures are going to be in the middle 50s, so not too bad here. Of course, the bowl game taking place in Las Vegas at 12:30 local time for today. How about in Atlanta, where the Grambling State Tigers are going to be taking on the Aggies? Lots of sunshine, a chilly start for tailgaters, but temperatures will be a little milder later on into the 50s here as well. How about in New Orleans today, where we have the Trojans taking on the Mean Green? I love that name, I really do. Temperatures will reach near 60 degrees with a mix